The structure of a communist front. Communism may be called the science of Marxism-Leninism. The genius of communism is that it recruits into its service many non-communists and even anti-communists who are completely unaware that they are serving the communist cause. One method by which it does this is through the establishment of communist fronts. A communist front may be defined as an organization which is formed by the communists, but whose membership is mostly non-communist, and this organization pursues an objective which has no obvious relationship to communism itself. A communist front, therefore, has a dual purpose. One purpose is its real purpose as the communists see it. However, its announced purpose is always something quite different. For example, the real purpose of the organization may be to disarm America so that military blackmail by overwhelming communist military power may be adequate to force surrender. This is the real objective. If the communists announced that they were forming an organization with this objective, their membership would be small. The only members would be the dedicated communists themselves. So they must announce an objective which will commend itself to many people, but which will advance the real communist objective without these people being aware of this. So if they can set up some kind of peace front with the objective of protecting people from the disastrous consequences of war, this can be brought about, according to the arguments advanced, by disarmament. But since the organization will operate only in the non-communist countries or within the United States, the net result will be to reduce America's military power, and if this is carried far enough, it would put America in the position where blackmail, military blackmail, could enforce surrender. Therefore, there is a dual objective in a communist front: the real purpose of the communist organizers and the apparent purpose which recruits the non-communists and the anti-communists into the movement. The people who are involved in a communist front may be classified in a number of groups. These groups are: 1, the communists themselves; 2, the fellow travelers; 3, the sympathizers; 4, the pseudo-liberals; and 5, the dupes. I will try to give a brief definition of each of these groups. The communists are the members of the Communist Party. Membership may be public or secret. There are some communists who hide their membership of the Communist Party and who deny, when questioned, that they are members. These people are generally referred to as crypto-communists. Nevertheless, they are under communist discipline and secretly directed by the Communist Party. Wherever communism operates, there is always the legal Communist Party, if this is permitted, and accompanied with it there is an illegal Communist Party. By decision of the international communist movement, the legal party is always under the control of the illegal party. So there are always secret or crypto-communists who are subject to communist discipline, but their communist membership is not known. The next group is the group of fellow travelers. A fellow traveler may be defined as an individual who approves communist doctrine, communist methods, and communist objectives, but who for some personal reason has never been able to make the complete personal sacrifice necessary for membership within the Communist Party. Probably he has a guilty conscience because he is not an actual communist member. He may compensate for this by greater dedication to specific communist objectives than even the communists themselves show. However, he is not a member of the Communist Party and can publicly announce that he is not a member. If he is accused of being a member, he can sue for libel, and the courts may decide that he has been libeled and assess considerable damages. Nevertheless, he is an active supporter of communist doctrines and causes. He is what Gus Hall refers to as a state-of-mind communist. It's generally agreed that there are approximately 10 fellow travellers or state-of-mind communists for every actual member of the Communist Party. The third group is the group of sympathisers. This group consists of a variety of members of different organisations, socialists, pacifists, various groups that would call themselves left-leaning but non-communist. There is within this group a general basic sympathy with a great deal, though not all, of the programs and objectives of communism. For example, I was once talking with a member of the executive of the Socialist Party, and we were discussing the evil of dictatorship. I said to him, as far as I can observe, you don't seem to be as antagonistic to the dictatorship of Tito in Yugoslavia as you are to the dictatorship of Franco in Spain. He replied without hesitation, certainly not. With Tito, I only object to his methods. I approve of his objectives. Whereas with Franco, I disapprove of everything. And this group of sympathizers are opposed to certain features of communism, but they believe that, on the whole, communism is a progressive movement in the interests of better conditions and well-being for the majority of the people of the world, that it is permissible to associate with them and work with them to advance specific causes. And this may be associated with a somewhat naive hope that if you can show the communists a little tolerance and understanding, they may gradually jettison their extreme characteristics of brutality and dictatorship and deception and become a benign movement worthy of wholehearted support. These sympathizers will cooperate with the communists in a limited area for a specific objective. The fourth group is the group of the pseudo-liberals. These are individuals who are very idealistic and often somewhat impractical. They tend to govern their lives in terms of pure theory. Frequently, they're to be found in universities, theological seminaries, and groups of this nature. They take the attitude that they disapprove of communism and they will not support it. However, they say, I refuse to become like my enemy in order to oppose him. And while I disagree with what the communists say, I will fight for their right to say it. While I disagree with communist organization, I will fight for their right to organize. These individuals frequently claim that there is an absolute freedom of speech, that anyone can say what they like, they're not legally guilty until they take steps to put the programs they have been advocating into operation. They claim that the use of the Fifth Amendment, a statement under oath that the individual refuses to answer a certain question because a truthful answer might incriminate him, carries no indication of guilt whatsoever. And these individuals believe that they are very liberal and stand for all that is best in the organisation of society. I believe that they commit certain fallacies of which they're unaware. One of these fallacies is that provisions which are totally legitimate to prevent punishment by law do not extend into other aspects of social organisation and privilege. The Fifth Amendment is designed to prevent an individual from incriminating himself so that he may be punished by law. It does not carry with it a protection against the logical consequences of stating that a truthful answer might be incriminating. And since many of the positions of life require higher standards than the standards required to keep out of prison, the use of the Fifth Amendment may discredit them or disqualify them for these positions of privilege, though it certainly cannot result in their being imprisoned or punished under the law. The fifth group consists of the people who are simply duped. They are patriotic, well-meaning citizens, but they can be appealed to in terms of a worthy cause. The relationship of these individuals to each other within a communist front may be understood if we draw a series of concentric circles. At the centre there is the small circle, the Communist Party. Draw another larger circle round that and we have the zone of the fellow traveller. Another larger circle round that, the zone of the sympathiser. Another larger circle, the zone of the pseudo-liberal. And finally, a large circle embracing all, the zone of the dupe. Now, if from the centre we draw two lines at an angle, we get a segment of the circle which may be conceived as the Communist Front. At the centre, the dedicated communist organisers. At the periphery, the good patriotic dupes. We have the worthy announced objective. We have the hidden communist objective, and communist science operates. If you desire a printed copy of these messages, write to Dr. Fred Schwarz, Post Office Box 890, Long Beach, California, zip code 90801.